Hello, guys. Welcome back to another weekly real estate roundup and another edition of Title Talk with and
Ryan Lipsy, Ticor Title Talk. What's up, Haley?
What's up, Ryan?
How's it going?
Well, it's I feel like we always talk about the weather because it's San Diego, but looking outside and the sun's coming out, it's great. We're going into a crazy market. Things are moving. Things are good. We're seeing transactions staying in escrow, closing in escrow. So that's where we're at today.
I mean, the sun is shining, and it's been a dreary beginning to the week anyway. And I was like, maybe not hailed on Tuesday, and there's snow in the foothills.
Yeah, who decides to go running in the middle of the day on that Tuesday?
Who
does that?
Do hard shit. You gotta do hard shit. Okay? And yeah, it was hard. But so you look to the foothills to the east and you see beautiful snow blanketing the San Diego County region, and then you look to the west and the sunshine is glistening off the majestic waves in our Pacific Ocean. So pretty awesome day to be a San Diegan. And Friday, nonetheless, perfect weather for a Friday.
Right, we're going right into that. So we wanted to kind of jump on here today quickly and just give you a term that we've been hearing kind of pop up a little bit more. And we just wanted to, if you hear it, you know what it means, that you have some education behind it, because it's a little bit of a different term when you hear it. So,
yeah, it's more in like contract law, real estate law, very common. It's the term marketable title, to deliver marketable title. So can we break that down? What is marketable title?
Well, like when I heard that, the first time I heard that, I was like, so we can market certain things? Like, I got excited because I was like, oh, compliance is easing up on us?
You can talk about marketing?
We can do marketing stuff? Like, what?
No, I assure you.
No, that is not what it means. That is a red flag on title.
There is no marketing in title.
No marketing in title.
It's marketable title.
Marketable title.
Right.
So what that means is really just essentially what title insurance is. Delivering a clean bill of health, free of any judgments or liens, to that incoming buyer on the date of closing, meaning they get their title insurance.
Okay, so like something that we talk about pretty commonly in our videos, in our video blog, is delivering a clean bill of health. The seller's obligation is to say, Mr. Buyer, here is a property that's free of encumbrances, free of liens, free of tax issues, free of mechanics liens, free of easements that are encumbering the property. Basically, clean bill of health. And then what does the buyer do to the incoming lender? Because a high percentage of properties bought and sold have a lender associated. So they have to turn
to this lender and say, my title is a marketable title, clean bill of health. Now I can get insurance on my loan to ensure that that lender is in first position on that property. They're going to get paid if anything were to go in foreclosure or any other liens were come on there, that they would be paid as well.
So first position, what does that mean? So like if something were to happen, or what does
so
that
like
do
if they
for
go to
the
take
lender?
out of a second, for example, like it's very important. So if a second goes to get taken out, the first lender has to first be aware of it if it's through a different lending company, and they have to sign off on it and say, oh yes, this second is okay, but that second also has to stay that we are okay with going in second position.
So
we are okay with being a junior lien on top of this first lien in first position. So that means not like the importance of it, but it goes in that would be paid off through anything second or anything like that.
So like if basically if the hits the fan and that property has to go to sale at auction, the first collects first. The second collects second. Get it? So you hear about it like subordination agreements. So the second is saying, hey, you have a $400,000 first, property's worth about $1 million. We're doing a $200,000 second. We're fine being second. Otherwise, like known as, or in other words, we believe that the value won't come down to where we're threatened in what we're lending here.
Well, and what you just said, that's where it gets a little tricky, and like we hear about it all the time in the auction and stuff, is the first is for closing on. Okay, so the first is for closing on, and hey, guess what? You bid on it, you get that property like freaking $200,000 under, you were able to pay off that first. Oh, but guess what? There was a second and third that may not have been foreclosed on yet. And so now, guess who's the proud owner of those second and thirds also?
Right.
You are. So that's why it's very important to make sure you know what's foreclosing on, what's on the property. But back to marketable title, that's where it talks about where so that title wouldn't be marketable if there's liens or anything on there. And that's why as we mentioned in our last video, that redemption period of the tax auction, you have to wait 12 months before you can get any kind of insurance because
there's a lot of sorting out to do. They got to pick up all the rocks and look at all the squiggly things on the bottom and sort all that stuff out,
it's
which
not
takes
marketable
time.
title yet.
And they do not have what's known as marketable title. So it's a protective layer for the incoming buyer to make sure that the title company that issues the policy or the marketable title, their head is on the chopping block, not the incoming buyer. Because if the title company misses a $45,000 income tax lien that was against the seller, but it still shows up on the property because the title company whiffed on it, well, the new buyer has a claim or a gripe, for sure, definitely a claim with the issuing title company, that the title company can say, oops, my bad, and they're going to have to make that right.
Well, that's why it is a part of the real estate transaction and part of it, especially in the state of California, because they want to make sure that when they are insuring properties that they are getting free and clear title, because they don't want they want to rectify those situations or kind of eliminate those situations as much as possible.
Right.
Because, you know, we do live in a human world. We're not fully AI yet. God forbid, I hope we never get there. But, you know, mistakes happen. Things get missed. And that's why you do get title insurance, so that buyer doesn't go and straight sell the seller, and then the seller's agent gets sued and everybody's getting sued in the transaction. No, they just go straight to the title company, and that's when title companies issue claims, which Ticor does not do at all. Which that's because we catch all those things for the most part.
Yeah,
but
we do it like sure. It's a human industry, so humans are flawed. That means the industry's flawed. But there's so much to go over on the title reports, on the potential pitfalls that you'll encounter in a title, inspection or inspecting the title, going backwards to see what gnarly stuff might be there. There's so much. In fact, that they created a whole industry about it, right? With the title industry. And those reports can get pretty granular and pretty involved. So we invite our customers, we're happy to go over your Ticor report with you. We're happy to go over your non-Ticor report with you, because it's our space. It's where we live. It's where we spend all day long and night thinking, well, not all day and night, but we spend a lot of time thinking about title, right? We got even more people.
Try not to think about it at night.
I personally think about anything else at night. But we have a building full of people with 35, 40, 50 years experience in this space. So we are a phone call away from, the Yoda of title back at the plant and at Ticor corporate. So we are happy to go over with you and overcome or gain a greater understanding so that you can go and equip your sellers with the knowledge of what you're looking at on the title report. And the title report, actually the preliminary report, the reason it's preliminary is because it's giving you all the things that we're going to have to clean up, kind of like a to-do list, before we close and give that incoming buyer marketable title.
Their final title policy.
Right. So that's full circle on marketable title. And we love what we do. We get to do it in the sunshine here in San Diego. And I think, unless you have anything to add, we'll be coming back at you next time with easements, encumbrances, or other more
title we're dealing with a fun one where we're switching entities right now in the middle of a transaction because there's some things going on. So we'll let you know how that comes out and how that gets solved. But please, like Ryan said, this is where we live. Any questions, anything that you've had on vesting questions. I got a call the other day on how, what would be the right way to hold vesting if something this was happening. So those kind of questions, please feel free to ask us. Please hit us up. We'd love to be able to help. We'd love to be a part of your business. And that's what I have to add. I'm Haley.
All right, I'm Ryan. Until next time, we'll see ya.
Bye.
Bye.